What's good, folks? Welcome to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. My name is Edgar. I am the host, and tonight is Friday, so we're going to be going over WWE's Friday Night SmackDown. We're on the road to WrestleMania, fellas. We are less than 30 days away from WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken. It's right around the corner, but does it feel like WrestleMania season for you guys yet?
It does to me.
There's quite a bit of chaos going on, but not fully yet. We have only got 4 matches, and we're supposed to get like what, 10?
That's a good question. I don't remember how many matches there were on each night last year, but lately I feel like every PLE has been having 4 matches. So I'm going to say maybe 4 matches a night, maybe 8 total for WrestleMania weekend. But I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. However, we did get a lot of crazy stuff that went down on SmackDown tonight, and we will be going over that, of course, with Mr. Tommy and Toxic. They are here with me. Mr. Blood is out because he has some stuff that he has to get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow, he's going to be going to some like Comic-Con or something like that. I don't know. But he's going to be out tonight. He'll be back on Monday for Monday Night Review. But let's get into it, fellas, because there's a lot of stuff on this card. We had 2 title matches, I believe, right? For the women's tag team championships, the men's tag team championships were on the line. I thought we were going to get Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, but oh, and of course the United States Championship match as well, right? That was a fucking crazy ass match. We'll get into that later on. I looked up the card before the show, and I could have sworn that we were supposed to get Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. At least I think that was the original plan, but that didn't happen. But they did kick off the show. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu started fighting in the parking lot. Drew McIntyre takes out Jacob Fatu. He hits the ring and he tries to cut a promo, which it was interrupted by Nick Aldis. And this is becoming like a pattern on SmackDown where Drew McIntyre takes over the show. Nick Aldis comes out. They have a little back and forth. And SmackDown started off with chaos again this week. What did you guys think about seeing how this SmackDown kicked off with all the commotion and like the chaos that was happening here?
I can't. Sorry, I just found it funny. I can't believe the way that Drew McIntyre took Jacob Fatu out of the car by ripping the damn windshield off of the car. Just that blew my mind. But I found out that it was broken, so that kind of made more sense. But I enjoyed this first part. I definitely think we are getting a match between the two of them at WrestleMania, and I think it's probably going to be Hell in a Cell, because if I'm just tired of seeing street fights with Drew in it, because last year's Mania street fight, that was a good street fight, but yeah, I don't need to see another street fight. I need to see Hell in a Cell. So I enjoyed the opener of SmackDown tonight, which that really kicked off the mood for me. Like, that just set the tone and set the mood of the rest of the show.
Oh yeah, good old Drew McIntyre complaining as he always does. That is just his thing. Jacob Fatu, he's doing his thing too, which isn't exactly complaining per se, but he still has his moments. So the show's starting off like this. I'm not surprised on that, but we'll get to how this show ended later on, because it also ended with these two.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to give anything away yet because we'll get there when we get there. But after seeing everything that happened with Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu this whole entire episode of SmackDown, I think you're onto something, Toxic. I think this match it has to be some type of crazy stipulation, right? This can't just be like a regular one-on-one. The other thing too, Drew McIntyre made a very, 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 very personal comment or attack, I should say, to Nick Aldis, saying something about his kids. You know, you are the worst of the worst. Your kids should be ashamed of you, or something along those lines, right? Which also got me thinking, man, like, are they trying to set up Drew McIntyre versus Nick Aldis? Because I would be down to see that. What about y'all?
I'd be down. I mean, we've already got the hints before with Randy Orton, which, I mean, now what's going on with him, that's a complete possibility. Um, but I would be down with seeing Drew McIntyre versus Nick Aldis because I mean Nick Aldis used to be in the ring, but he's not no more. So he could just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm done being retired for just this one match. So I'd be down to see it.
Absolutely. As we've already said in the past, there is one thing that both general managers have in common. That is the fact that both of them are former NWA champions in the past. So I say if either of them are in the ring, the bigger option here is Nick Aldis. And I would not mind seeing that man back in the ring, especially with somebody as big as Drew McIntyre.
All right, y'all. We got new tag team champions. R-Truth and Damian Priest defeated the MFTs. And Toxic, I think you mentioned this before the match started. You're like, are we going to get new tag team champions? And we did, man. But it's just crazy to think about because Damian Priest and R-Truth literally became a tag team like what, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Not even that long ago. Yeah. And just like that, man, they defeated the MFTs and they did something that not even the Wyatts were able to do, which was defeat the MFTs to get back those tag team champions. But yeah, man, the fans seem to be really happy about this. They popped huge for R-Truth. They popped huge for Damian Priest. And when they got that 1, 2, 3, man, it was a great moment because it's R-Truth, right? R-Truth was doing the Ron Cena, doing the John Cena 5 knuckle shuffle. So right off the bat, the people love that, man, because it's a nostalgia feeling seeing John Cena or someone do his moves out there, especially R-Truth. But it was a great moment. We got new tag team champions, y'all. How you feel about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, I fucking called it.
All right, Blood, calm down.
Before the match even started, I said that I have a feeling we're getting new tag team champions, and surprise, surprise, we have new tag team champions. Just the vibe of the entire match, as it was getting announced, or as Damien was coming out, it was one of the two. That just gave me the feeling that we were getting new tag team champions. Plus, I mean, it's about time that MFT loses the titles because I cannot keep up with this shit. Who the fuck are the champions? Is it just whoever wants to be it, or is it like who? I just got so confused that they needed to lose them. But I am so happy for Damian Priest and R-Truth, and never in a million years would I think R-Truth holds another title again because it's happy for them.
Look at that. R-Truth is over here holding both versions of the titles now. Because the titles that he held before was the Raw ones. Back when he was with The Miz. So he held those ones. Now he's holding the other ones. So let's go on that. But I did also have a feeling like we were going to get new tag titles, like new tag champs, and we did. So, hey, MFTs, Solo Sikoa, we love you. We really do. Stop going after those tag titles because clearly you can't defend them.
All right. Shout out to It's a Me, friend of the show. Shout out to them. They say, how long will WWE keep Drew? I'm over him, and I'm sure a lot of people are too. We'll talk about Drew a little bit later on because first, we got to talk about Sami Zayn. This is important. This is a backstage interview, but the reason I want to bring this up is because I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to Blood and Eyes one-on-one from last night on TikTok Live, right? It's out now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. We talked about a lot of crazy stuff, like Ricochet being in big trouble, Ronda Rousey showing up on AEW, and we also talked about who was Randy Orton talking to on the phone last week and tonight on SmackDown. And there was a really interesting comment that we got. I can't remember who said it or else I would shout him out. They believe it's Sami Zayn. And after seeing this interview, I'm starting to believe it more because Sami Zayn was asking, he was talking about, things haven't really been going my way. But then I look at Randy Orton. Randy Orton, the things that he's been doing, the way that he's been acting, Randy Orton was standing tall, holding that championship belt last week. Maybe, just maybe, I got to rethink my actions. And maybe I should kind of start doing the same thing Randy Orton's doing. So that leads me to believe. I mean, we've been seeing the crumbs the seeds being planted a long time ago that Sami Zayn is going to turn heel, but it's getting closer and closer, and I feel like it's going to happen. Did you guys see this interview with Sami Zayn? And if so, what did you guys have any thoughts about this, or what did you think?
I don't think it's Sammy. Yes, we have seeds planted. Like I want to say back at Royal Rumble, last year Royal Rumble, the ladder match with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. But I think they just forgot about the seeds that they planted, and then now they're just, oh wait, we planted those seeds. Let's go back and plant them again. So yeah, I just don't think it's Sami Zayn. I actually think it's Kevin Owens that was on the phone with Randy Orton. I also had another theory that I saw from I don't even know who it was. But they think that it was the same person that Adam Pearce was getting phone calls from. Remember whenever
Yeah.
Adam was getting phone calls from someone basically protecting the Vision? That's who they think it is. So I don't know, but I just don't think it's Sammy.
But hold on real quick. That's an interesting thing right there. But we're talking about two different brands here. One's from Raw, one's from SmackDown. So I'm not sure if both of those things would correlate,
Unless it's a higher up.
What'd you think, Tommy?
I don't think it's Sammy either. I think it's more likely to be Kevin Owens simply because of the fact that in the past, those two had their little feud. He tried to get Randy to turn heel even back then. So I think it's more likely to be Kevin Owens. Although I think Toxic might be onto something in case that is the way it goes. Because if it is who is talking to Adam Pearce, maybe it's Rock. As much as I hate to say it, because man can't even finish his own stories at Mania. What if it's the final boss who's over here calling everybody? And that would explain why it's two totally different brands.
Fair enough. All right, up next we had a tag team match between Fraxiom and Motor City Machine. It was a fun, high-paced, exciting tag team match. And the finish was Candice LeRae, of all people, helped the Motor City Machine Guns win this match, which is probably going to lead to, well, I helped you guys win. Now you got to help me fix my broken husband, Johnny Gargano. And I didn't really care too much about this, but what did you guys think?
The match I didn't really care for. I knew that Motor City was going to win because, I mean, what else are they doing with them? I mean, might as well put them in with Johnny Depresso. So, I mean, but I think this all leads to a breakup of the Motor City Machine Guns because we've seen recently that Chris Sabin gets really pissed whenever he sees Alex Shelley like helping out Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, like because Alex Shelley and Johnny Gargano have histories, so of course he's gonna check in and make sure everything's good, even though that shit, even though Johnny did what he did to the Motor City, so I think this all leads to a breakup between the Motor City because what the fuck else are they doing with them?
Well, clearly in some sort of feud here. Simply because of the fact that right now, these two are 1-1. They are tied up. Fraxiom won their last one. Motor City won here. They need to blow off third. So, where will that be? I don't know. Maybe it's at Mania. I don't think that would be the right spot for it, though. But they still need to blow off third at some point.
I would like to see the Motor City Machine Guns either in AAA or NXT. I'm not saying like, oh, they shouldn't be on the main roster. Oh, I don't want to see them on SmackDown. No, I want them to be like Los Americanos who get used here and there and every now and then, you know. Yeah, let's send them to AAA. They can have some banger matches over there. And even the way that the tag team division has been going on NXT, I think the Motor City Machine Gun would fit perfectly with the type of tag team matches that they have on NXT. All right, you guys, Randy Orton took over the squared circle with a promo, in-ring promo. And it was one hell of a promo, man, because Randy Orton, after he turned heel last week, there's still a little bit of that babyface Randy Orton in there, but there's more of that Viper heelish 09 Randy thrown in there too, because he was like, you know, I would come out here, I would kiss the babies, I would shake the hands. You know, I would see this little boy with a sign saying, Randy, it's my birthday, and I would go over and wish him happy birthday because he's going to remember that moment forever. However, that's not what I want to be known for. I don't want to be known for making kids happy. I want to be known for winning championships and winning gold. And I'm like, man, that's what's up right there. That's a real champ right there. I'm all for making the kids happy or whatever, but I'm like, now he's talking like a real fucking wrestler, you know. I want to win championships, and he's going to win. He's going to beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And the fans got behind Randy, even though he's a heel. The people want to see Randy Orton win at WrestleMania. And they let him know in this promo.
I kind of want to go into last week because we didn't review SmackDown last week, but we've been warned countless times of this by Randy himself by a lot of people. Randy has told Cody himself, there is going to be a time where I want number 15. And that time is clearly now where he has the opportunity to get number 15 because he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to get number 15 in a while other than John Cena at Backlash. But another thing that's kind of off topic, but not really, we've been seeing Aleister Black with Randy Orton before the entire heel Randy Orton thing. I kind of find their spot, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega's spot in this story, stupid. You want to know why? Because they are basically Karrion Kross and Scarlett 2.0. They are doing they are doing Scarlett and Karrion's gimmick exactly, which is bullshit. But I've expected this from Randy. I think that I thought that it would have happened no matter who walked out of the championship match like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm so happy that we are getting a new version of Randy because I'm kind of tired of the one that we had.
Welcome back, 09 Randy. That's the biggest thing. But in retains to last week, there is something that I have been made aware of now because I completely forgot about this. This is the third year in a row that a heel that Cody has gone up against has made this man bloody as all hell. 2 years ago, it was Rock. Last year, it was Cena. And now this year, it's Randy Orton. This is the third year in a row this man has been left bloody. This is also his third damn title reign within the last 2 years. So, at this point, I say let Randy take it. I say give him his number 15 at Mania. And Cody, stay away from it for a while. Plain and simple. And I'm a Cody crybaby for life. I've made that very clear. I was on the hype train of Finish the Damn Story. You can check one of my old accounts. That is legitimately one of the things that I made. I held this thing on my shoulder and said, I want to talk about finishing the story. That was one of the biggest things I did back then. So at this point, Cody, it's your third damn title reign in 2 years. Let it go. The story with this title for you is over. At this point, your time is up. Randy's time for number 15 is now.
Damn, Tommy, we're talking about SmackDown, bro. Feels like you're already trying to do WrestleMania predictions, dog. We still got a few weeks for that.
We still got a few weeks, but the IWC has made it very clear, and so have we. Cody needs to stay away from that title. He needs to lose it and go.
Well, we got to talk about what happened next with Randy Orton because this ties into the last segment of the show. Randy Orton gets confronted by Matt Cardona backstage. Matt Cardona is basically like, bro, what are you doing, dog? Because they go way back. Matt Cardona has known Randy Orton from way back when they first started, right? They have a lot of history. Matt Cardona is not liking what he's seeing from Randy Orton. He thought it was a good idea to confront him. And Randy Orton fucking puts Matt Cardona in his place, calling him a fucking mark, a stooge, a nerd, and then fucking punches him on the face to top it all off. The ultimate disrespect from an old friend like Matt Cardona. Randy Orton just completely bashes this guy. I thought this was interesting because of the history, and also Randy Orton is going to be the main event of WrestleMania. It's Randy Orton, one of the biggest stars ever. And Matt Cardona, who just came in not that long ago back to the WWE, he's being thrown in there in the mix with Randy, who's involved in the main event of WrestleMania. I thought this was a great look for Matt Cardona, even though Randy Orton fucking disrespected the fuck out of him. But what'd y'all think?
Oh God, Matt Cardona can't catch a break. I mean, first when he comes back, he has to deal with Kit Wilson's shit, and then now he's got to go through this. Tommy, put your hands down. But just, I feel bad for the man. I mean, he needs a title shot if Randy wins at Mania. Actually, Cody give him one. I don't care. But I think Matt needs better, even though I feel like his spot in this segment works perfectly because, I mean, Randy and him have known each other for a while, and just I don't know how to like describe it perfect or like clearly, but I know how to. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Randy did his thing. Great. I have one question. What the hell are we doing with Matt Cardona? Because hasn't done shit. He hasn't had a match in a hot minute, and he has been stuck in backstage segments. That's it. That's all this man is getting. You legitimately hired this man back. Do something with him. That's my biggest issue here, is the fact that they are doing nothing with Matt Cardona right now.
He's getting involved with Randy Orton, who's not only Randy Orton, but Randy Orton's getting ready to be the main event of WrestleMania. That's what they're doing with Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona is going to have a match with Randy Orton before Mania. It doesn't get bigger than that.
Yeah, but he's still stuck with backstage segments right now up until then. And odds are, even after that, he's still going to be stuck with backstage segments.
I don't know, man. I'm liking what they're doing with Matt Cardona. He's been stuck. You can say he's been stuck backstage, but he went from that to being the main segment on SmackDown with Randy Orton. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think this is a good start. I think this is the right foot moving forward for Matt Cardona go from here on out, you know. Speaking of moving in the right direction, we had a singles match, Aleister Black versus Sami Zayn. And good old Trick Williams said he was going to be ringside to see the action and to scope out Sami Zayn and maybe give Sami Zayn a few pointers, according to Trick Williams, right? It was a good match. Sami Zayn is one hell of a fucking worker, one hell of a salesman. Made Aleister Black look really fucking good, because that's one of the things that a lot of people complain about. Aleister Black is boring. He's whatever. I don't care about his matches, but this match was really good. And I think a big part of that had to do with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got a little bit distracted with Trick Williams, who was at the announce table. Aleister Black takes advantage. Black mass on Sami Zayn. Aleister Black wins 1, 2, 3. I wasn't expecting Aleister Black to win, but this is a big win for him. And this also sets up a potential match between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. I thought overall, man, everyone came out winning here. Except for Sami Zayn technically lost the match. But it also leads to that story that they're trying to tell, that, you know, Sami Zayn needs to do something different. Sami Zayn is going to hit that rock bottom and he's going to snap eventually.
This leads back to my point. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are doing what Scarlett and Karrion did. I'm not going to go into it because, I mean, you can obviously tell, but they're getting into Sammy's head. They're trying to make him heel. And at least that's what I get from it. Because we know eventually Sammy is going to turn heel. We know that for a fact. But I feel like Alistair and Trick Williams combined is the way to do it. If they can do this story right, I feel like that they can successfully turn Sammy heel and have him have his new heel, because his old heel gimmick sucked. But they can have his new heel gimmick be way better than what he could have done back whenever he was first heel.
I liked the match. I had quite a bit of fun with it. Of course, Trick William had to get involved because, of course, he did. But here was my one problem. There was one thing I couldn't tell what it was. That count. Was it a 9 count or a 10 count? Because I thought it was a 10. Like, I thought right before Sami Zayn went in, I thought I heard 10. But the match kept...
Nah, it wasn't 10. It was a 9.
Okay. So it was barely. But I, for some bizarre reason, heard 10. So I thought, oh, the match is over right before that black mask. So, Aleister Black winning, not surprising at all to me. But then again, it's Aleister Black. As Toxic said, and I completely agree with him on it, he is just the next level to what Karrion Kross was. But unfortunately, it seems like he's becoming what Karrion Kross was before he was released, which is a massive problem because it literally led to him being released.
That was another thing too. Another thing that I noticed, what you just mentioned about the 10 count, and this is another reason why I like this match so much and the outcome, is because like little things like that. Say for instance, Sami Zayn would have gotten counted out, right? That would have been a good finish too. Holy shit, Sami Zayn, he lost the match. He got counted out because of Trick Williams. Aleister Black wins. That would have been good too. That would have been a good finish. It would have still got us to where we need to go, which is Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. But it was still cool to see Sami Zayn break the count. He goes into the ring, and Aleister Black hits him with this finish, and he pins Sami Zayn 1, 2, 3. That's also huge for Aleister Black. He beat Sami Zayn clean, technically, Aleister Black did. So that was really interesting. Shout out to It's a Me says, does the WWE need Aleister and Selena anymore? I mean, yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, this is why they're using Aleister Black for things like this, you know? This was perfect from top to bottom. The way that Aleister Black was used. The only one that really didn't do much was Zelina Vega. She kind of was just there, but it doesn't really matter. You know, Aleister Black got the win. It seems like he's been getting a lot of wins too lately. Didn't he win his last match versus who did Aleister Black wrestle? I think it was Randy Orton. I can't remember. But he's been winning a lot of matches lately, Aleister Black. At least his last few matches, he's been winning them. Yeah, I'm liking what they're doing with Aleister Black, man. Like, I think people just need to have a little bit more patience when it comes to him. They're gonna do something interesting and really big with Aleister Black. I think so. All right, moving on. Oh yes, the face-to-face with Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill again. I think the major thing that came out of all of this, it wasn't really the promo. It really wasn't what these two women said to each other, because what did they say to each other, really? I mean, was there anything really important or of note here? that they said other than because at first Rhea was like, "Oh, I need to win the championship from you. I need this title." And then later on, she was like, "I don't need to win it. I want to win it." I'm like, "What the fuck? You just what?" Okay, maybe I misheard her, but yeah, basically Rhea said, "Ever since that championship has been on you, Jade, I feel like I have to win it back. I have to get that title off of you, and I'm going to do it at WrestleMania." But then one of the things Rhea said was, you really haven't been doing a very good job of making friends here in the WWE, because Jade was like, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money." And Rhea was like, "Well, you've been doing a good job of that. You ain't got no friends." And Rhea Ripley challenges Jade Cargill. "Let's do it. You want to do something about it? Let's do it. Let's get physical." Jade says no. She walks away. "We're going to do it on my time." And as Jade Cargill was walking away, here comes Mia Yim and B-Fab, which we know the history. These two women don't like Jade Cargill, right? At least that's what we thought. Mia Yim and B-Fab turn heel. They join Jade Cargill, and they beat the fuck out of Rhea Ripley, all three of them, in a 3-on-1 situation. I enjoyed this a whole lot. I thought this was interesting. Jade Cargill has a little faction of her own. She's got some friends. She's got some backup. And even though we don't really know why, we haven't gotten an explanation, I thought this was lovely. But what y'all think?
This made no fucking sense to me whatsoever. It really didn't. It really didn't. One, Jade Cargill's here not to make friends, but to make money. Okay, what are you, female CM Punk? Because isn't that what he said when he came back? I'm going to digress from that. But if you're not here to make friends, then why are you teaming up with two people that you have hated and have had countless feuds with, or not even countless, have had a feud with? That's another thing. Why are we why are this entire thing doesn't make sense to me. Why are Jade Cargill and Mia Yim and B-Fab pairing up with each other when they've hated each other? I just don't understand this whatsoever. And I mean, I like this story. I liked it, but now that they've thrown Mia Yim or Michin or whatever the fuck you want to call her and B-Fab into the story with Jade on her side, I don't get it now. I mean, it's just confusing.
I'm even more confused because didn't Michin say 2 weeks ago that she was going after that title? That's what I'm confused about. It's the fact that literally 2 weeks ago, Michin's entire thing was, "I'm coming after that women's title at all costs. I'm coming after it." And now she's teaming with her? What's the point of that? Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like Toxic said, why in the world are we teaming these three up? Like, I get it when it comes to Michin and B-Fab. Those two have been teamed up for a while. We keep forgetting their existence, but they have been teamed up for a while. Why are you randomly putting in Jade Cargill into that situation? No sense whatsoever to me.
All right, you guys, the U.S. title is on the line. This was not an open challenge like we have been seeing every week. It was canceled by Nick Aldis because there was somebody who deserves a title shot, and it was Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes. And man, for someone like, okay, I've been complaining about this open challenge, right? Been seeing it a whole lot. We saw it with Penta on Raw. But man, this match was fucking insane between Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, right? It was so crazy. Ilya Dragunov, he has been putting off his rematch for the US title because Ilya Dragunov wanted to be ready. He wanted to be prepared. He was like, I don't deserve it yet. I will get it. I will cash in my rematch when I feel like I deserve it, when I'm ready. Tonight was that night. And they've been building up to this for a few weeks now, it feels like. So Ilya Dragunov, he was ready. He came in hot. He came in stronger than ever. He was ready to win back that U.S. championship, right? And it looked like he was about to do it. He was fierce. He was brutal. But Carmelo Hayes still managed to pick up the win over this confident, this overly prepared Ilya Dragunov. Everyone thought Ilya Dragunov was going to win. I mean, let's be honest, right? Carmelo Hayes has had that championship for a while now. Tonight just felt like the right night to crown a new U.S. champion. But no, Carmelo Hayes retained, and he got a huge fucking win over Ilya Dragunov.
I've been enjoying the U.S. Open challenges since Sammy brought them back, especially Carmelo's runs with them. He's put on bangers. For instance, Leon Slater, Matt Cardona, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ilya Dragunov on more than one occasion. I'm pretty sure, right? Anyways, but this one has probably got to be his best, even though I said that Leon Slater versus Carmelo Hayes was probably the best out of Carmelo's U.S. title run. No, it is this one. Because it just, the story leading into this match just itself has made so much sense that it doesn't at the same time in a good way. That did not make sense, but it makes sense to me. I mean, Ilya thinks there's something missing, that he can't go back after the US title, and that he needs to fix whatever is going on. But Carmelo Hayes has been telling Ilya that the problem is him, that he needs to just go for it, because he wants to be this non-stop fighting warrior, as he calls himself sometimes. Just, you need to do it. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me why it was Ilya tonight. And they put on one hell of a match. I was clearly on the fence on who I wanted to win, because I could not tell who was going to win. I mean, I just enjoyed this match, and it is definitely match of the night.
Completely agree on that, Tox. There ain't no doubt about it. This was absolutely match of the night. There is nothing you can do to make this match go wrong whatsoever. There's not a single thing you can do wrong with this type of match, because they have done it over and over and over again, and I absolutely love it every time. But this is what I love about Carmelo Hayes' open challenges. He has done this with 3 different brands now. With SmackDown itself, with AAA guys, I stand corrected, 4 different brands, technically. SmackDown itself, AAA, NXT, and TNA with Leon Slater. Yes, Javon Evans. Before he was called up.
I thought that was Sammy.
No, I thought he did one against Javon.
No, that was Sammy that had Javon.
Oh, that's right. That was Sammy. The point still stands. This thing has gone through 4 different brands. But still, this is just what I love so much about the open challenges. It's the fact that you don't know who's coming up. For this, we knew who was coming up beforehand because of the backstage segment. But hey, still one banger of a match, as it always is between these two.
All right, then we had Kit Wilson and Jelly Roll reciting poems to each other in the middle of the ring, and then Kit Wilson jumped Jelly Roll. I mean, it was funny, it was cutesy, and I'm glad that Kit Wilson has the opportunity to work with a big, famous name like Jelly Roll in the the outside world, not just the wrestling world, but this guy's a huge star. He's a celebrity, and the fact that Kit Wilson is working with him, I thought is pretty dope. But yeah, I didn't really care too much about this. What y'all think?
I started not to care, but then Jelly Roll just fucking burned Kit Wilson alive. But if you were to, if you're one of those people that say like, oh, celebrities shouldn't be in wrestling, and the only two good ones that we've had is Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, I say throw Jelly Roll in with the mix of who are the best celebrity wrestlers that we've had, because that man has put in not blood but sweat and tears into getting into this place, because that's where he wants to take his career next, also being still in music. And I'm fully for it. He looks amazing doing promo work so far. Excuse me. But I'm excited for him to get back into the ring next week. And it hopefully his ring work is better, because that is the only thing that I had an issue with last time he was in the ring. Not that he had a chance, because he didn't, because Logan and Drew was jumping him the entire time. But I just hope his ring work is better.
Well, it's clear that he has had more training since then, because when it comes to Jelly Roll on the most recent season of Unreal, they basically spent an entire episode on it, just on Jelly Roll. So I am really big into Jelly Roll. So happy that he will be back in the ring next week. I honestly would have put him even on that list back with that tag match, because of the fact that he put so much work just in that match alone. So, Jelly Roll, have fun. Bring up Kit Wilson's mom again, because that shit was funny as hell.
All right, then we had a women's tag team match. The Bella Twins team up for the first time in I don't know how many years, like 8 years or something crazy like that, versus the Irresistible Force, Nia Jax, Lash Legend. And this match ended in a no contest because Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair got involved, and all three tag teams fought each other, and that was about it. Did you guys enjoy this at all, or more than I did at least?
I didn't give a damn. I didn't give a damn, and that's sad, because usually Brie Bella is the more watchable, which, I mean, it wasn't necessarily anyone's fault. It's just I didn't care. The only thought that I really have is that I can tell what we're getting at Mania just because of this. We're getting a triple threat tag match. Bella's, Charlexa, and the Irresistible Forces for the tag titles. So, I mean, I didn't really give a damn.
Why do I have to keep seeing these damn two on my screen? I hated it. I hate the fact that the Bellas were brought back. Nikki started this whole shit. Nikki Bella shouldn't even be brought back in the first place. And I feel like the only reason why Brie was brought back is just to make Nikki Bella look good. Because she just didn't look good at all during her entire time as a single star when she came back. It felt like the only reason why Brie Bella was brought back, just to make Nikki look good.
All right, and one of the final segments of the show was Randy Orton was on the phone again, talking to this mysterious person, talking about, oh, I got to make this right. I got to go out there and apologize to Matt Cardona. So Randy Orton comes out and he fools us all again, right? Because he comes out holding the steel chair, and on his way to the ring, he's shaking everyone's hands, right? Like the old babyface Randy, saying what's up to the little kids. And they made it a point to make sure the camera caught Randy Orton high-fiving the little kids, and Randy's smiling and he's all happy, right? He gets in the ring, Randy gets in the ring, and he's like, Matt Cardona, come out here so I can make things right, so I can apologize. Matt Cardona comes out. Randy says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for calling you a nerd. You know what? I like action figures. I play video games. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Gives him a hug, shakes his hand. I mean this. I apologize. I feel so bad, Matt Cardona. Boom, low blows Matt Cardona. Randy Orton does his usual Viper 09 Randy shit and beats the fuck out of Matt Cardona. Security, Nick Aldis, everyone and their mama comes out to try to stop this. But Randy Orton just goes off on Matt Cardona. But again, the fans are loving this. The fans love seeing a heel Randy Orton. They even started chanting, one more time, one more time. But man, and this is, again, you know, this is what they're doing with Matt Cardona. And I can't complain, dude. I thought this was lovely.
My bad, I zoned out there real quick. I loved it too. I was definitely fooled because I'm like, okay, so is Randy going to be a tweener? Because there's no way that they're just gonna turn him heel and then turn him face right back again. So, but at the same time, it would make sense for him to be a tweener because one of the most important things about this new version of Randy is that he said that sometimes the voices are in charge. They tell him like what to do, when to do something, what to say, what not to say. And you can tell that that is the case because after like he put Matt Cardona on the announcer table like he did Cody, he was holding his head like the voices were controlling him or something like that. But I loved this segment. But no other thoughts really except that.
This entire segment has been exactly what his theme has been saying the entire time. He hears voices in his head. They talk to him. They understand. That's been his entire thing so far the last 2 weeks. And I could not be happier with how this is going. I just can't, because it feels so right to have this 09 Randy back. Because him as a babyface and him being all how he was. Yes, it felt right. But at the same time, for me, it didn't. Because I've been so used to him being the Viper, and there's been all of these hints that he's going to punt kick somebody for like over a year now. And I think that at Mania, that's when it's finally going to happen. I think at Mania against Cody is when he's finally going to punt Cody Rhodes.
Again, Tommy, We're not doing WrestleMania predictions yet.
Tell me you can wait 4 weeks.
I am saying my feelings. I am pulling a blood, and I am calling it 4 weeks in advance.
Well, from one chaotic moment to another, before the show ends, we go to like the top of what at first I thought it was like a billboard or something, but it was some like higher level thing where Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre were at fighting. They showed them on the screen, and then Nick Aldis and all of security go from this whole Randy Orton and Matt Cardona thing. They go to the parking lot where Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu are fighting, and they're fighting on the top of this thing. It's got to be at least like 20, 30 feet, right? But the way that the camera angled it, there was a fence that was, blocking Nick Aldis and the security guard to get to where Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre were. And it kind of blocked off like halfway of the camera angle. So you can't see where the bottom part is, like the floor. All you can see is Nick Aldis, the security, and then the fence. And then at the top, Drew and Jacob Fatu fighting. And they're fighting and they're fighting. And they're like at the edge of like this scaffolding type thing, right? Jacob Fatu hits Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre falls off the top of this thing. But on his way down, Drew McIntyre grabs on Jacob Fatu, and they both go down. And you can just hear the impact, but you don't see where they're landing because obviously it's probably like some padded thing somewhere down there. But for the sake of, cinema, bro, it gives you that idea, gives you that impression like these two fell from the very top all the way down to the floor. And Nick Aldis, security guards are all worried and they're calling for, get some help, get some help. But this is how we leave SmackDown, with both of these two guys falling from very high up down to the floor. And now this match that we're supposed to be getting at WrestleMania, supposedly what we think it might be in jeopardy. Is this a way to write these two guys off? There's a lot of questions going on right now. What'd you guys think about how we ended SmackDown tonight?
Nick Aldis needs to ask Adam Pearce when he can get a fucking drink, because he clearly needs one with how everything has been happening. But I like the ending. It's a good way to that I don't even know how to describe it, but just I know, like I said, I can't tell how to describe it, but I just know what I feel about it. It's hard to put into words, but just if this does jeopardize the match that we think is gonna happen at Mania, then I don't even know. But I like the ending of SmackDown.
Chaos to begin and chaos to end. What a way to end SmackDown. The same way it started. Chaos involving Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. If anything, the stipulation between the two of them needs to be a way to contain both of them. And I think Toxic is right. Hell in a Cell is the perfect way to do it. And we have not seen that type of match in a couple of years at Mania. Because the last time we did, it was Edge. No, I don't think that one was at Mania. It was Edge and the Demon Finn Balor. So, I think at this point, do it. Hell in a Cell, Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania on the grandest stage of them all. Do it.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. I think that's fitting. Very, very interesting. But yeah, that was Friday Night SmackDown. That's what happened this week, March 20th. We are a little bit over a month away from WrestleMania, which means at least 3 or 4 more Raws and SmackDown each before the big show. So yeah, man, it's crunch time, man, and things are gonna get crazy leading up to Mania these next few weeks. So we'll be on the lookout to see what goes down. Tommy, since Blood isn't here tonight, why don't you do the honors and let's get the fuck up out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was in fact the review for Friday Night SmackDown. You can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday as well. You've got Monday Night Raw, NXT on Wednesdays, Friday Night SmackDown. You've got that one-on-one between Mr. Blood and our glorious leader Snug on TikTok Live as well. Go get your merch. That is at teepublic.com/snug_wrestling. That is, as a repeat, TEE as in t-shirt, public.com/snug_wrestling. All right, Mr. Blood, hope you have fun at your convention. Hey, Toxic, let's do it. That was one time for the one time. 4 letters.
4 letters.
1 word.
1 word.
Yeet.